Thanks for becoming a phone volunteer. You will be the first person many survivors talk to when they need help. As a virtual call center volunteer, your top priorities are: first, listen; second, manage expectations; and third, enter the request on crisis cleanup. Your role is essential. Sometimes it's easy to feel alone, but you are part of an army of volunteers answering calls and working in the field. For every hour you spend on the phone, you enable volunteers to work an extra 29 and a half hours in the field, which is worth $2,000 to survivors. Your time is literally worth $2,000 per hour to survivors because you free up volunteers to help more people in the field. We don't expect you to be an expert, know all the answers, or be a professional therapist. However, your job is to actively listen and gather useful assessment information. Don't rush. Take time to listen. Most callers need someone who will listen more than anything else. Consistent phone service is vital over a long period of time. Answering calls for 1 hour a day for 2 weeks is much better than volunteering for 7 hours for 2 days. Pace yourself. Before we get started, the current phone system does not work in Safari or Internet Explorer. Make sure that you're using a web browser like Chrome or Firefox. Once you open or download one of these browsers, you can get to work. So let's dive in. To get to the phone system, look for the phone item in the navigation bar. If you don't see it, you'll need to turn it on. Click on your name in the top right corner of the screen. Choose Profile from the drop-down. Next, click the Edit icon in the top right corner. Below your name, you should see your role, which is probably something like Worker or Primary Contact. Click the drop-down and select either Phone Agent or Phone Team Leader. Either one will work. Make sure that you click the yellow Save button in the top right corner. You should now see Phone in the navigation bar on the left side. Click on Phone. Training. You are now on the training dashboard. Feel free to take a look around, but this tutorial will focus on the basics of how to take and return calls. To start, click the yellow button that says Start Training. This is the one button that will do just about everything, as we'll show you in a moment. If you haven't already watched the 6-minute Crisis Cleanup mandatory training video, please do so now, then finish this video. Answer the questions and keep guessing until you get them all right. After you've passed the training, click the yellow button that now says Start Taking Calls. The next step is connect onto our backend, which is a little tricky. You will see a pop-up window with a backend username and password. You will need to copy and paste the information into an Amazon Connect window in a moment. Click the yellow Take Me to the pop-up page button. Type in that easy username and password you copied earlier and hit enter. The backend will take about 10 seconds to start up, so sing happy birthday to yourself while you wait. With any luck, your screen will be ready to go. You will only need to do this at the beginning of your day. We are still in alpha release and are working through some bugs, so if that didn't work, try again. If it still doesn't work, thanks for your patience. Hit the help button and let us know what's going on. We'll do our best to get you fixed up. Ironically, logging in is the most difficult part. Everything else should be easy. One important reason to use the phone system is to hide your caller ID. You might accidentally make a lifelong friend if you call using your personal phone. Our call system will hide your personal number and display the Crisis Cleanup hotline number. Do not give out your personal details. There are 4 types of calls: inbound, callback, call down, and manual outbound. When you click the Start Taking Calls button, the system will send you a call and tell you what kind it is. Inbound calls. As the name suggests, inbound calls are when people call the hotline and are routed to you. The stats board will tell you the number of people who are waiting on the phone to talk. The system will always prioritize inbound calls before callbacks and call downs. When you receive an inbound call, you might say, "Crisis Cleanup Hotline, my name is Joe Smith, how may I help you?" You may tell the caller which organization you belong to, but try not to give the impression that your organization will help every caller. Callbacks. The next type of call is a callback. These are survivors who have called after hours, during high volume times, or signed up through a web form. We call them back whenever we are caught up on inbound calls. A typical script for a callback would be, "My name is Joe Smith from the Crisis Cleanup Hotline. Someone from this number called to ask for help cleaning up after a recent disaster. I'm returning your call." Call downs. Next, a call down is when we call old cases that have not been updated for a while. Often, survivors will receive help, but not tell us. This wastes volunteers' time calling and deploying to a site that does not need help. We will occasionally load a bunch of these cases to help clean up cases that no longer need help. A typical script for a call down would be, "My name is Joe Smith from the Crisis Cleanup Hotline. We noticed that you asked for help a while ago. I was just following up to make sure you still need help. Do you still need help?" Finally, a manual outbound call is when you use the dial pad to type or copy and paste a 10-digit phone number into the dialer and call someone directly. During an inbound call back, or call down, a pop-up window will tell you about the call. If the caller already has one or more cases, the system will find them for you. For example, this could happen if someone called for themselves or for a neighbor. If you see more than one case, just ask them which one they are calling about and select it. Or, if they're wanting to add another case, say for Crazy Uncle Joe, just choose New Case and start entering the new information. Once you enter the case, you can save or claim and save it. Save means that any relief organization can claim it and help. Claim and save means your organization will drive to the location and help. If you make the wrong choice, don't worry. You can find the case on the map and claim or unclaim it as needed. Closing out a call. After each call, you must select a call status that best describes the outcome of the call you just had. Once selected, please add notes that others may appreciate. When you hang up with a survivor, your magic yellow button will go into a temporary pause state. This gives you about 3 minutes to tie up any loose ends, make some notes, or take a deep breath. Once your 3 minutes is up, the system will go live and send you another call. You can take a call earlier by clicking the magic yellow button to go back online. If you need more time, maybe because your baby is screaming, nature calls, or Crazy Uncle Joe is suddenly knocking at your door, you can always choose Stop Making Calls to go to an offline state. Sometimes you want to go to the extra mile for a survivor or report an issue. You can do this by clicking on the flag icon at the top of the case details. Here, you can select a range of flags, including one to mark the case as a high priority. These flags suggest actions you can take on their behalf. Never share the personal contact information of any volunteers with any survivor. And that's it. Just keep hitting the magic yellow button to talk to lots of people. Remember your 3 priorities. First, take as much time as you need to listen and take notes. Often, callers just need to share what's happened to them. Don't rush. Second, manage expectations. Emphasize that we cannot guarantee service. You are putting their name on a list that is available to relief agencies. Consider using words, "It may take a long time. There are no guarantees. If available, a relief organization will contact you directly." Third, enter the case into Crisis Cleanup. Make sure the notes are accurate and complete. We've created an optional training video that covers unique or unusual scenarios that you might encounter. It is not mandatory, but it will be very helpful as you answer more calls. One last thing. You will often be the first person these survivors talk to. You will remember some of their stories for a very long time. Hearing difficult stories is mentally and emotionally taxing. It's easy to think of ourselves as almost a rescuer or a hero who should not be affected. Or we compare our situation to theirs and do not feel the right to feel exhausted. But we all are affected because we're human. If you find yourself being overtaxed, please take time to rebalance. Here are a few ideas. Take a break, walk the dog, spend time with family, do some chores, exercise, run to the store. Clearing your head will help you have a better perspective and avoid compassion fatigue. Talk to someone. Talk to a friend, family member, or fellow call center volunteer. You can create a help desk ticket, and we will call to chat. You can also call the Disaster Distress Helpline at 1-800-985-5990. Read the success stories. We have added a new feature at the bottom of the phone dashboard just for you. When a survivor receives help with whom you spoke, we will tell you the good news. We will even include before and after pictures if there are any. You are now ready to take the quiz and start taking calls. You are amazing. We love you. We appreciate you and your willingness to help strangers affected by disasters. Thank you again.